Hello friends, welcome to our channel Crash Course for the Engineers. In the previous session, we have covered the step-by-step procedure of method study. The first step was selection and second step was recording. So now in this session, we will cover the various recording techniques that are used in method study. Now, there's a method study recording techniques are differentiated into three types. First is the things which are indicating the process sequence. Then second is where the time scale is needed. And third is diagrams which indicate the movements. Uh, so, uh, indicating process sequence, first is the outline process chart, then flow process chart, then man type, material type, machine type, and two-handed process chart. Using time scale, there is a multiple activity chart, SIMO chart, and PMTS chart. The diagrams which indicate movements are flow diagram, string diagram, cyclograph, chronocyclograph, and travel chart. Let us see one by one. So, what is a process chart? So as the name suggests, process chart is setting out the sequence of flow of a product or procedure by recording all events under review using appropriate process chart symbol. So in this method study, as I already told you, we are using some symbols. Okay. So this chart gives a record of all events associated with the worker. So operation, inspection, movement, and delay. What are the applications of process chart? It helps to understand overall nature of the system which is being studied. All these things we are doing to study the things and recording information related to the system. It eliminates the flow patterns that are not suitable. It helps to allow the storage space adequate to support the production rate. It helps to eliminate costly errors by analyzing the material flow, and it helps to allow adequate space to avoid safety related issues. It helps to locate the size of gangways appropriate for product handle. It helps to avoid the backtracking of the material. Backtracking is a very big issue in the manufacturing organizations. How to identify the possibility of combining operations by grouping different machines or operations to avoid handling, storage, and delay. So, combining the operations uh, uh, need to be identified. Okay, then help to decide whether product flow or process flow layout of factory will be useful. So, layout of the factory or organization is comes into picture. Now, what are the different process chart symbols? Now, first symbol is the operation symbol. Operation is the main activity that is being done in the organization. O represents or zero represents the main step in a process, method, or procedure. Usually, a part, material, or product concern is modified or changed during the operation. Then, second is the inspection. So, rectangle indicates the inspection. Inspection for quality or check for quantity can be done during this process. Then transport indicate the movement of the worker, material or equipment from place to place. So right hand side arrow. indicate this transport. Next is the temporary storage or delay. Now, in many of the case studies that are available, so these delays related to the temporary stage need to be eliminated or reduced. So, capital T indicates the delay in the sequence of events, for example, work which is waiting between consecutive operations or any object laid aside temporarily without record until required. Then permanent storage. So the triangle indicates the controlled storage in which the material is received into or issued from a store under some form of authorization or an item is retained for reference purposes. And next is the combined activities indicate the controlled storage in which the material is received into or issued. So this thing is not there in the combined activities. So suppose I have two things, operation and inspection. So I can combine these two things and it will be said to be a combined activity. Okay, friends. So rectangle represents operation or action performed on a material or product. Inspection, assemble, drill. Circle is there, represents storage point where the material is kept temporarily, inventory warehouse. Okay, now look at this. Some examples are given. So O for operation. So driving a nail, mixing, drilling hole comes into category of operation. Transport, move material by truck, move material by conveyor, uh, move material by carrying messenger. Then storage, raw material is in bulk storage, finished stock on pallets, then protective filing of the document. So documentation is also taken into consideration. Then delay, waiter, the person is waiting for the elevator, the material machine, then material in truck on or on floor or at bench waiting to be processed, papers waiting to be filed. Then inspection, a square indicate an inspection such as examine material for quantity or quality, reading the steam gauge on a boiler, then examining printed form for information. Okay, so this is the ASME standard set of process chart symbols and its example. Now let us go to the first process chart, that is outline process chart. An outline process chart gives an overall picture by recording in sequence only the main operations and inspections. While preparing the outline process chart, we use symbol of operation and inspection. In the outline process chart, only the principal operation and the inspection carried out are recorded to ensure the effectiveness. An operation process chart is a graphic representation of the sequence of all the operations and inspection taking place in a process. Now, what it gives? It gives the bird eye view of all of the overall activities. Every point of the material are noted in the chart. Now, let us look at one example of outline process chart. Outline process chart. So, first is logs are cut to size, then they are peeled. Okay, then the veneer is formed. After that, clipping is done. Clipping is an operation. Then drying is done. It is an operation. Then they are sorted. So it is a combined activity. Then joint, splice, and then after that also sorted to combined activity. They are glued, then assembled and pressed. The plywood is formed. Plywood is cut to size. Then it is inspected. So inspection is done. It is embossed and packed. So only two activities, that is operation and inspection are carried out. And here here we get the operation plus inspection combined activity. So in case of outline process chart, we just use operation and inspection in case of the process. Then flow process chart. Uh, Here the flow process chart are graphic representation of the sequence of the operations, transportation, inspection, delays, and storages occurring during a process or procedure, and include information considered for such as time required and distance moved. So this is different than the outline process chart. In the outline process chart, you might have seen students only the activities which are being performed are mentioned. Uh, Apart from that, nothing is given. So in case of the flow process chart, two things are added. First is time required and the distance moved. And the the graphic representation of sequences of operation, transportation, inspection, delay, and storage. Previously, only two things were taken into consideration, that is operation and inspection. Now here, all the things are taken into consideration. To develop it, why they are used, to develop an understanding how a process or work happening and clearly documenting how a particular job is done. With the addition of that, mapping a process in flowchart format help us where the process can be improved. So it gives the scope for the improvement of the process. Now let us look at the types of flow process chart. There are three main types of flow process chart: material or product type, man types, and the machine or equipment type. Now, as the name suggests, material or product type flow process chart record all the things that are happening to the material or product. That is the changes the material or product undergoes in location or condition, including operation and transportation are mentioned. This flow process chart record how the material is handled or treated. Next is a man type of flow process chart. Record all the activities of worker or operator. That is what a worker is or operator is doing. In this type of chart, usually storage term is not applicable because the man need no storage. This flow process chart record what the worker does, as I mentioned. Then machine or equipment type flow process chart record the manner in which the machine or equipment is used. This flow process chart record how the equipment or machine is used. So both the things are same written over here. Now let us look at the format of the standard format for the use for the flow process chart. So here I need to mention the describe the area of study, then name of the workstation, then name of the department, date of study, and prepared by. Then in summary, the parameters are mentioned. The distance and time are need to be written. So current uh, 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 so this is the work which is being done currently, the distance traveled and time elapsed, the summary is mentioned. Then propose. All these things we are doing to propose something which will reduce the distance and which will reduce the time. So whatever the distance in case of the proposed and whatever the time in case of the proposed are mentioned over here, summary, and here I need to write down the saving. Okay. Uh, then symbols category. So the symbols are uh, given here. Okay, so current, propose, and saving. Now here one by one, each and every activity are need to be mentioned over here, and the time which is required for that activity, and the distance which is um, um, moved or carried need to be mentioned, and the type of activity need to be mentioned over here. So remark, if I am combining these two activities, so I need to write down the combining the activity. Okay. So this is the standard format for the flow process chart. Now, friends, let us go to the man type flow process chart example. So here, man type flow process chart. Uh, for example, these things are mentioned. So the man or the worker is waiting for the customer to purchase the product. So he is waiting. So delay is there. Then communication with the customer. So for 16 seconds, okay. So the operation is mentioned. Then go to find the product at the store. So time is mentioned 39 seconds, and distance which is traveled by the man is 1900 centimeters. So transport symbol is given. Then wait and think where the product is placed. So time is mentioned and it is mentioned in the delay. Go to another area to find the product. So transport of the man. Then take the product from product stage. The time is mentioned and operation is mentioned. Move towards the counter side. So time is mentioned and distance is mentioned. So it is transport. Take the product price on the product. So it is inspection. Then give the product to the customer. Time is mentioned and it is operation. Communication with the customer. It is an operation for time is mentioned. And take the money from the customer. So this can be said to be a simple sharp example. Now let us go to the uh, conventional example with the mechanical industry. Okay, so issue the material from the store. So yeah, you can see here there are some activities given, and I need to we can create a flow process chart for the man type by using these activities. Okay, so the summary is mentioned over here. So you can try it at your home. You can take the screenshot of these all the activities, and now after that you can post the answer in the chat box. Let us see who gets the correct answer. Then material type flow process chart. The material is unloading from the truck. So time is given, distance is given, it is operation. The material is inspected. The time is given for 12 minutes inspection activities. Then storage of the material. So storage, permanent storage is mentioned. The material movement nearest processing point. So transport is mentioned. So distance and time, both the things are mentioned. Material inspection and processing. So material is inspected and it is processed. So both it is combining of the activities. Then material processing, it is operation. So now the distance and time is mentioned. Waiting for the movement, so delay is given. So 9 seconds is the delay, 9 minutes is the delay. Material movement to the final stage, so time and distance is given. So it is transport. Then material is stored, so time is given and for what time the material is stored. The inspection of the material, so inspection activity is given, so time is mentioned and the distance is mentioned. The material loading, so operation is mentioned and time and distance are mentioned. So now if you look at this can be the total time and this can be the total distance moved by the material, and how many uh, so the so now look at the inspection of the component. This activity is done by man and it is done on the material. So let us see the difference between these two things for man type and material type. So man type, man in the inspection department is the starting of the activity, and man is returning to the inspection department is the end. For the material type, man chart begins with the material in good receiving and material in the stores. So first is man is in transport to good receiving. Then he locates the component, he pick the component, he go to the inspection department, set the component to the bench, visual inspection, measure and record the length, put inspection seal to the stores, enter in the stock and return in the inspection department. Now for the same thing, so the material is waiting for the man, arrival of the man. The material is transported to the inspection department. The material is set on the bench. Material is getting inspected. Material's dimensions are measured. Material is stamped. Material is stored. Material is transported to the store and material is stored. Now, friends, let us go to the machine type flow process chart. Okay, so machine never travels uh, uh, in this example. So distance here mentioned as always zero. Okay, and so machine is waiting for the manpower. There is a delay. Machine start running and manpower inspecting machine condition. So two activities are performed. The machine is running and the inspection is done. Machine is running, the operation is being done, time is mentioned. Waiting for the new product, delay is mentioned. Inspect the machine fixture condition, inspection is mentioned. Waiting for the product, delay is mentioned. Set up the new product on the machine, so operation is mentioned. Machine running, operation is mentioned. Waiting for the power supply, so here delay is mentioned. So material is unloading, operation is mentioned. And last is waiting for the new product, the delay is mentioned. So how many times these activities perform? The number is given. So operation is done 4 times. The inspection is done 1 time. Combined activity is 1 time. Transport is 0. Delay is 5 times. And the storage is 0. So this is a example of machining of a collar. Now the next type of chart is a flow chart. So flow chart is operator type, two-handed process chart, right hand, left hand chart. So it is a process chart in which the activities of two hands of the operator are recorded. It shows whether the two hands of the operator are idle or moving in relation to one another in a time scale. It is generally used for repetitive of operations. Now let us see two-handed flow process chart is a motion study where the study is done to analyze the motion used by the worker in performing an activity. In this, the activities of the worker's hands or limbs are recorded in their relationship to each other. Two-handed uh, process flow chart individually shows the movement of each hand in a manual process. It is typically used for repetitive operation when analyzing a manual assembly process to help make it easier to perform. So why these are used? To eliminate or reduce the unwanted motions, to arrange the remaining motions in a best possible sequence, Now, in case of the two-handed chart, there are two columns in which the activities of the left hand and right hand with the appropriate symbols are recorded in sequence. Then the activities of the two hands are interrelated by aligning the symbol on the chart so that the movements by both hands appear opposite to each other. Additional columns can be designed to record the activities of other parts of the body whenever necessary. So operation, transport, delay, hold, and inspection. These symbols are there. So inspection symbol is not used mostly. Now look over here. Standard format of a two-hand flow process chart. So there is a left-hand description and there is a right-hand description. So time is mentioned and the activity which is being done, its symbol is mentioned. So now let us have a look at the two-handed flow process chart, process flow chart. So pick up a part A, time is 7 seconds. Both the hands are doing the activity. Move towards the table, both the hands are doing to the activity. Then release the part A, both the hands are doing the activity. Now here look, the movement towards the small store stud. So 4 seconds. Okay. The left hand is idle. Pick up the small stud, 3 seconds. The left hand is idle for 3 seconds. Movement towards the part A, 8 seconds. The left hand is idle. Now, in the next part, the right hand is idle for 7 and 3 seconds, where the left hand, sorry, right hand is doing the activity, move towards the part A and pick up the part A. Now, in the next, it is an activity done by both the hands. Insert stud on part A, 14 seconds. Hold the part A. Then inspect the part A, 9 seconds. Inspect the part A, 9 seconds. Then left hand remains idle and release the part A for 4 seconds. Movement towards the part C, 6 seconds. Your right hand will be idle for 6 seconds. Pick up the part C, the right hand is idle. Movement towards the part A, 5 seconds. Movement to the part A, 5 seconds. And then left hand is idle for 4 seconds. Pick up the small stud and part C, insert on the small stud 24 seconds. Hold on the small stud 24 seconds. So if you look at here, uh, the operations which are being done by the left hand, operation is done for 6 times, and in case of right hand, operation is done for 5 times. Uh, inspection is done for 1 time, inspection is done for 1 time. Now, we are interested in the transport. Transport is done for 5 seconds, 5 times, and here the transport is done 3 times. Delay is 3 times, and here the delay is 5 times. So here the delay should be 4 times. And last is holding. Holding is for 2 times. Okay, so this is the example of two-handed flow process chart. Now, by these things, you can draw a flow process chart. It's a very simple thing. Now, next chart is a multiple activity chart. Is a form of a flow process chart recording the related sequence of work of a number of operators or machines on a common time scale. So previously we were talking about single person and its activities. single machine and its activities. Uh, Now here we are talking about number of operators or number of machines, and uh, the thing are recorded on a common time scale. In this activity, more than one item, worker, machine, equipment are recorded on a common time scale to show their interrelationship. So why these are useful? They are useful tool for understanding the flow of work in a cyclic process, and as a consequence, understanding which resource is controlling the overall progress of the work, and the tool can be used to model different situations to determine optimum mix of the resources for the work. Now, friends, uh, multiple activity chart bring the comparative utilization of main and machine very clearly and help to synchronize the various activities and improve the situation. It is useful tool for planning teamwork and determining the staffing pattern. The multiple activity chart shows up clearly the period of ineffective time and rearranging the work to become possible to eliminate or reduce the injective time. Now, how it can be done? The activities of the machine are recorded in relation to that of the operator, and the chart is sometimes called as the man-machine chart. This is only special variant of multiple activity chart. So now look at the types. The first is the man-machine chart, then man multi-machine chart, machine multi-man chart, and multi-man machine chart. Okay. So as the name suggests, you can understand the things. So man-machine chart. Let us go to the example. So all the activities done by man and machine are recorded on one chart. So material arrangement is done 122 second. Machine is idle, man is working. Spanner finding, man is working, machine is idle. Machine setup and adjustment, man is working and machine is also working. Then go for coolant collection, man is working and machine is idle. Waiting for the power failure, man is waiting and machine is also idle. Material loading on the machine, material loading on the machine. Man is idle and machine is running for this activity. Then material unloading on the machine, man is working and machine is also working. Worker go for searching of the material, machine is idle. Material handling manually from storage, machine is idle, and material inspection, machine is idle. So this is the man-machine type chart. Now look over here. So here, for the method, you can say that the summary can be like this. Man and machine. Working time of a man is 1.2 minutes and machine is 0.8 minutes. Idle time is 0.8 minutes. Idle time for machine is 1.2. And the utilization column is there. So 60% utilization of the man and 45% utilization of the machine. Now this is a very good example of the man-machine chart. Okay, so the chart enables the management to minimize the idle time of the worker and to use the machine to their full capacity. Now look at this example. For example, there are three workers and each worker is doing the same operation on machine. In that the machine, in the time to set up the machine is 0.5 minutes and the machining time is taken 0.75 minutes. So now look at over here. So this is the time to set up the machine for one machine and uh, machining time takes the 75.75 minutes. So, look at here for the 0.75 minutes. the worker is idle. So from the figure, it is clear that for each operation, the worker is idle for 0.75 minutes when the machine is running. For this, the alternative can be to put two machines and let allow one worker to work on them. So now here there are two machines, one and two, and worker is one. Now the worker, look at here. Uh, so first is 0.50 minutes. The worker is setting up the machine one, and machine one is being set up, and after that the machine one will be running. Then he will set up the second machine. The second machine is being set up, and for the remaining time, here and here the machine is running. Still, uh, we can say that for 0.25 minutes, the worker is uh, remaining idle. So now the worker still remains idle for 0.25 minutes in each operation. In order to minimize this, one more worker is allowed to work on three machines. So now look at here. Uh, so show the machine chart for one worker and three machines. So uh, he is setting up the first machine. After that, the first machine will run. He is setting up the second machine. So second machine is run. Uh, Look over here. For this time, the second machine will be idle. He is setting up the third machine because 0.5 minutes is required to set up the machine. So 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, that is 1.5. Here the time was, total time was 1.25. Here the total time was 1.25 minutes. Now we are increasing. So now in that case, each machine is idle for 0.25 minutes. So these combinations are done to check uh, the optimum utilization of the worker and the machine. Now, friends, during this session, I tried to cover the various recording methods related to the process chart, flow process chart, and other things I have covered. In the next session, we'll go to the diagrams, various diagrams that are being used. I hope you are following this page. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. The content that I am covering are related to the topics related to industrial engineering. So, thank you for watching this video.